you adjusted here a little bit better. I did go ahead and put the tank back in off camera just because bunch of dirt on my screen. I did put the tank on off camera just because that is a huge pain on this thing to get the tank in and out of there, and I rinsed it out and cleaned out in there under it a little bit better. Let's see. In this part, this here with the shut off. Hey! Hello there, Miss Ivy. Great to see you. I'm gonna go grab a better fuel line cutter because them side cutters cut that terribly. Which, of course, they probably won't be findable because why would they be? There's those. Nope, not in there. I'm gonna have to find all our tools again because they're just disappearing every time I look for something. I'm doing pretty good. Thanks, how are you doing? I'm at home. Okay, that's good. We got enough extra. Now I'm gonna get the side cutters because why would I grab them when I need them? I just don't get where those other cutters went. Because they cut this line, fuel line, really good. There's to dig around and try to find everything that I can't find. I'm tired of not having everything I need when I do something. Wow, 20 people already. Good. Let's see. I'll spin the camera around just a hair. Cut that off. Put in this fuel filter. This here is the cheapest fuel filter that Amazon carries. So I figured I would put the super Chinese one on there until I knew the tank was perfectly clean so we didn't get a bunch of dirt and a good fuel filter. Well, I might put, so the shut off should always be before the filter. So that way you don't have the whole tank of gas pouring out when you change the filter. That fuel line is a bit too long. So I'll trim off a bit of it. It's pretty cold it's pretty cold here. Outside it's real windy. That's the bad part. And then put the fuel line onto the carburetor. And I'll trim it up else or up closer to the tank. There we go. Get that pushed up in there. I need to get a microphone that will work with my tablet. Because I'm tired of having to yell into the camera trim the line coming from the tank. Get all the water off of them. So that way it's not hanging around everywhere. Yeah, that's still a little bit long. Trim off a little more. It's always good to have a little extra than not enough. I think that's pretty good there. That way, you have room to tuck it around wherever you want it. But you just don't want it too loose on these gravity fed, because then it might not make it to the carburetor. So the next step, where we left off yesterday, was the tank, the gas tank. I had to take that off, clean it all out, because it had a bunch of old gas in it and dirt from sitting. And I got the tank cleaned up and put back in just a few minutes ago. I didn't show it, but just because every time I mess with fuel line on camera, it always goes a little crazy. And that tank is ridiculously hard to put in there. That is one thing I don't like about this mower. Wipe off all the junk on that. Trying to clean this air filter base off a little bit, because there's a bunch of dirt up in there. And that just slides on. Oh yeah, I forgot that this choke flap here, I'll push on it, kind of see how it retracts real slow. I don't think it's supposed to have that much drag. It's supposed to kind of spring right back. So I think it just needs some lubricant, and if that doesn't fix it, then that must just be how it was made. Kind of work that around a little bit. Yeah, that's a little faster. That's about what it should be like. Put a little bit on the part in the carburetor, and that's moving a lot better now. Yeah, now it springs like it should. There's just a bunch of gummy gas in there from it sitting for so long. I'll kind of move the camera right about there. And then this, there is a breather tube that connects to right there. I do have it. I'm just not putting it on right now because it'll just take up a bunch of time. I can do that off camera. I don't like all that dirt getting in there, because then it can get into the engine. There we go. Didn't want to slide on. Then you got your two 10mm nuts. Here, I'm going to lower down the camera just a little bit, and then you can kind of see a bit better what I'm doing. This other nut is just barely out of sight. but you get the point. Here's this one here. It's just the other nut is right next to it. This engine hasn't ran in the past 4 to 5 years. So it had some really old gas in it and all that. Had to clean out the carburetor. What else? Cleaned out the tank, new fuel line. I did all that in 2 or 3 other lives. I had to fix a broken wire, which that was the main reason why it wasn't used, was the broken wire wouldn't start or anything. And then snug those down a little bit with the ratchet. You know, you don't need these too tight. I've actually seen people tighten these so tight that they squished it together, squished everything together so hard that they broke the plastic insulators and stuff. So they don't need to be tight. I mean, just gently snug with a small ratchet is all you need. And then your air filter, which is new. It's new, but it isn't. Kind of. There we go. Didn't want to drop in there. And then that little wing nut thing there holds it down. And bring you over to here. Try and get this to where you guys can see. Spin that around. And then I gotta hook up this cable. I had to take it out to do the fuel line, which the end of it goes right in that little hole right there is where the cable goes. And you want to make sure that you have it in the right position. So all the way down is slow, all the way up is fast and choke. So that's where it should be, because the throttle lever is down. And then this little clamp here holds it in. That is an 8mm. Here is the ratchet.
What are you doing?
I'm doing live.
You're doing?
Get that snug down. Get this out of your way so you can kind of see. Make sure everything's working okay. Then I'll pull the throttle lever all the way up to full choke and be sure we're getting full choke, which I might need to loosen that up just a little bit and pull the cable up a hair. Yeah, there we go. It wasn't quite at full choke, and that'll make it hard to start when it's cold. Yeah, I'd say that's full choke. That's just a little bit of play. Okay, well, I'll get you moved. I'll get these tools over here so they don't fly off of here. This thing hasn't been started in years and years. Oh yeah, I gotta tighten the spark plug real quick. We won't get too far without that. Which it's buried down in there. They kind of put it in a really hard spot to get to on this. I don't know why. Usually you can see it, but it's way deep down in there. Let's use this fancy multi-tool thing, I guess. Let's see. I can't see. Oh, did I tighten it? Yeah. I guess I did get it snugged down. Get on there. Once again, snug. And your wire. Want to push it on until it clicks. Hey, we got Mr. Al again. You're just in time because we're about ready to see if this will start or not. For the first time in about 5 years that it's been ran. Same one we were working on last night. Got the air filter and everything back on it. New fuel line, fuel filter. Oh, this is our neighbor's mower. Yeah, that's a pretty good view there of the tank. I won't put a lot of gas in it just till I know everything is leak free. Because I don't want to deal with a gallon of gas if something goes wrong. Okay, filter is just now filling up. We'll go with that for now until we don't see anything. Put the cap back on here. I'll open the door just a little ways. I don't see anything leaking out of the carburetor yet. Yeah, the filter has some fuel in it, not a whole big bunch, but yeah, I'm not putting much more in until I know everything's okay. It does take a little bit more with the gravity fed than a fuel pump, so you have to put in a little bit more, which I don't like in some cases, but just don't have a fuel pump, it's just gravity. Needs a new fuel cap. It's all rotted out, and the gasket was sitting down in the bottom of the tank. I just noticed that a few minutes ago. I have to hook up this jumper real quick because this battery in this mower ain't no good. So that'll just take a second here. Okay, that's hooked up. Choke is on. And hopefully it makes some noise. And not an explosion. Full choke. And it's a little angry. I've never heard more annoying starters than Kohler's. Yeah, it's getting smoky in here. Good thing I opened the door. I'm gonna grab some carburetor cleaner and give it a little shot of it just to see if it needs some help getting going. Sometimes that's about all it takes. Maybe I just don't have enough gas in it. But I won't determine that until it won't run at all. Over there. Okay. Quick little shot of. Yeah, it tried. Can't put that seat back. I don't like that. Oh well. Well, we might just not have enough gas in it, but also I don't want to put a whole big bunch in it. Yeah, that fuel filter's empty now, so we definitely don't have enough in it. I hate to put much more in there, but I'll have to. I mean, I clean that carburetor as good as you can get. I soaked it in vinegar water for a few days and cleaned everything out with cleaner twice. Yeah, now that filter is filling up more. So I bet that's all it was. I always do that to myself. I never put enough in there and wonder why nothing ever runs. Sure, it's just also a little bit angry because it's been. Well, I won't put that on there because I noticed that the vent was all messed up in the cap. Yeah, it kind of does. But then again, that's just about what all Kohlers sound like. Because we have another Kohler on our mower and it sounds about as bad as this thing. Okay. Well, let's try it again. Ooh. There's obviously something wrong. That's what it kept doing before, because before I started working on this thing, I tried giving it a little bit of gas in the carburetor just to be sure the engine was any good. It just kept spitting out flames through the intake and kept backfiring. So I wonder if there is something wrong with the spark plug, because when I looked at it, it was really dirty. So I'm just gonna clean that up real quick. Something easy to try, might as well. It takes a couple minutes. And then if that don't work, I'll put more gas in it. too long spark plug. There we go. Yeah, you can see it's pretty icky. Yep. That sounds about right. So I'm gonna grab a wire brush and a rag. I can kind of scrub it off. I've definitely fixed stuff with cleaning plugs before. Just had an engine that wouldn't run not too long ago because the plug was all icky. Oh yeah, that looks a whole lot better than what it did. That gap is a little wide. I guess it's not too bad. Spray a little bit down in there around the electrode. Ooh yeah, this thing's full of gunk. That could have been a whole problem. All that black stuff came out of there just now. Plug don't look like it's been used a whole lot, but it was just kind of oily, which usually isn't a good sign. Yeah. Okay. Try and not get pine needles into the cylinder, because there's a pine needle up in there, and that's not good. This plug is way down in there. I do not like that. You just about can't get it started with your fingers to use the socket to tighten it. Ah, there we go. What is this fancy little thing? Get that snugged down. You know, plugs aren't meant to be tightened really hard. There, snapped on there. So we should be good. Well, I don't know. That's going to be my next guess if everything else fails, because it's acting like it's got a timing issue. We might be checking timing here. I'm gonna keep cranking on it. It started not hot, but it doesn't need to get hot. So I think we're gonna take off this cover and check the flywheel real quick. It's not too hard to get off. At least it's definitely not as easy as a brakes engine, but hey, what can you expect out of Kohler? This is pretty much my first time working on anything Kohler. I mean, yeah, that's getting fuel. That filter's got fuel sitting down in it. Ooh. It's not wanting to come out of there too good. Probably just hasn't been moved in a long time. There's that bolt out. I have a feeling all these bolts are different sizes. You know, it's definitely not going to be as easy as the Briggs, because why not? And I think that has to come off. Well, no. I can just unplug the wires. I think that's part of the charging system. There. I'm going to grab a extension because I can't get down in there with just the socket. Didn't think I would have to do all this, but hey, you know, sometimes it just works out like that. That one is what you call tight. Please don't break. Well, you talk about ruining your day. Great. Man. Well, it looks like it's sticking up out of the case, so I should be able to grab a hold of that with vice grips and rip it out of there. If I can't, well, we'll just say you don't need that bolt, because I don't want to damage the block anything or anything on this engine. Where's the 10 millimeter? Oh, right over here. They put Loctite on there. That's why that other little one was tight. Let's see. Can you see? There's a bolt right here in the very front, which is a 10 millimeter. The other two were 8. Yeah, that bolt came out like it should. Now I can spin it with my fingers. And there should be a bolt on the other side, in the same spot where that one sheared off. Yeah, this thing has like 4 or 5 other bolts around it, so yeah, 1, 2, 3 more bolts plus that one that didn't break off, 4. So it's got plenty of hardware holding it on. I think that one comes off too. And those two are the same. The other 8 millimeters I think are the same as well. Yeah, there's not a bolt. Here going in the block is coming out like it should. It's a little stiff, but that's fine. flywheel key is okay because I don't have any fork holders. I only have a package of keys for brakes engines. Put that one there because that's the little bolt. Yeah, that bolt came out just fine too, so that's good. That one's got a washer on it for some reason. And it is a tiny bolt and it's got a slot in the hole, so I don't have to take it clear out. And then I gotta disconnect the wire on that charging thing right over. You can just see the top of it right by the yellow oil filter. You probably just see the connector. I'll show you where it is once I get this cover off. It does. Well, you know what? That doesn't want to come off there. So I ain't gonna force it because I ain't doing no wiring. Changing out any plugs. Let's see, is that an 8mm? Yeah. Now, one side that holds this in has a ground wire and a washer, so beware of that. There's the washer and then it has a ground wire. So I'll set that there. Those are those real big coarse plastic thread screws. I'll just set those there. And then here is I think that's the voltage regulator. I think that's what that is. And then this should theoretically slide off unless we miss a bolt. Is that a bolt there? I don't think so. Yeah, whoops, sorry about that. But yeah, it kind of feels. There's one last bolt, of course. You know, might as well make it as hard as you can to. It's like an easy works. One last 10mm bolt. Great day. I think that one's shorter, yeah. Yeah, that's all it was. What else is holding that damn thing? There we go. That spark plug wire is kind of in the way. Ooh, there's some dirt in there. Yeah, I should be able to get that bolt out of there. I don't know if I'll put a new one in there, but. So, and that's the head of the one that broke off. Then you spin the engine over, and the magnet passes by the coil. So right there is top dead center. And it should be just now passing top dead center, so I think that we might have a flywheel key issue. I didn't expect you to take this thing off, but it just kind of pops out of there. And I'll find a socket that fits that, which looks like a 9/16. muffler is metric or not. I would say they're probably metric, but I don't completely know. Bring standard over real quick. 9/16 is too big. 1/2 inch, too small, so it's probably like a 13 or a 14 millimeter. I figured it was metric. Because what isn't metric nowadays? 15, too big. 13. 13 it is. Sounds good, Mr. L. Move out here for a quick second and get this bolt out of here. Need the other impact. Usually that one will do flywheel bolts, but guess not today. Let's hope this don't break off. Good. Just need a little bit more power. I don't think I have to take the flywheel off to check the key. And it is... I can't tell. I guess I do have to because I can't see the little groove in the crankshaft where it would go. So a good spot to pry would be, I think, right over in there. This hammer will do what I need. Grab the bolt. Now, I've learned this the hard way, but when you're taking off one of these flywheels without a puller, the best way is to gently pry up on the bottom of it and whack the bolt. Now, you don't want the bolt to be, just a couple threads in the crank. You want it just a couple of threads out of the crank. Otherwise, when you're hitting on it, it'll jam up the threads. Learned that the hard way a couple of times. You don't need to pry real hard because you don't want to damage those cooling fins either. Well, it's a trying. Ooh. You see how it's it was kind of creeping up real slow? That's most likely a sheared key. A good key would make the flywheel, pop off of there real hard. And the key is just fine. Yeah. Is it fine? Yeah. It is. The key is good. So, check that that will fit in the socket, which it won't, so I'll have to file that a little bit. Back on with the flywheel we go. No, I ain't gonna. Oh well. That ain't good. That magnet came off of the flywheel. But there's others on there, so for the charging system. So I ain't gonna mess with it. Ouch. Ooh. That didn't feel good. So I gotta grab a file so I can kind of fix this bolt here. Sometimes hitting on it like that can make the top of it mushroom out, and then your socket won't fit on there. I think I can file that out. Should only take just a couple minutes, so bear with me. Don't really want to get a new bolt if I don't absolutely have to. Now, let's see. I might have another option that will help me go a little quicker. Bear with me here. Let's see what we need to do. Let's do a different adapter for that. Oh well. Should only take me a second here. Let's see. One. There we go. Should be there in just a second. Gotta change out something real quick here. Adapter. There we go. Get that snugged down. Put that in. Tighten that down. Okay, I got this little sanding thing on the Dremel here that I'm going to try. Do it the other way because I don't want metal getting on me. You have to be careful you don't round the head of it off. This is almost dead, of course. Right when I need it. Yep. Let me try that and see if it'll fit in the socket or not. No, but I think I have an idea on how to make it fit, which it'll involve a little bit of, get off of there, washer, froze to the mower. I think what we're going to do is just tap it on there, and that'll kind of reform the shape of it. I've done that a couple of times in the past when I didn't want to get a new bolt, and it worked out just fine. I don't think that did anything. Man, I wanted to save this bolt, but sometimes things aren't savable. I'm pretty sure we don't have one around here. Let's see, where'd I put the socket? Right here. And I can take a quick look and some of our hardware, but I doubt we have it. Man, I hate it when I damage hardware. Well, I'll take a look at one of our trays over here. Hardware. If it'd be in one, it'd be in this bucket, or container, I should say. Nope, that one don't want to go in. How about that? I'm too short. Did I just try that one out now? Okay. That one definitely looks like a flywheel bolt because somebody was hitting on it. Maybe that's a blade bolt. I don't remember. Well, let me think of any other bucket or container that we might have that would have something similar to that. Which I doubt we have it, but that's probably a special kind of thread. Let's see. Could it be in here? I apologize for this. I wasn't expecting this to go like this, but that's how it always seems to go. I can tell that that's not quite the right thread, but I'll try it real quick. Might as well while I got it out. I might be able to try grinding on that a little more, but I'm not even close. Only a bit over the washer. And bolt stick thread. Oh well. Well, there goes that, I guess. Okay. So, we'll have to, I guess, call it quits on this until we get the right bolt, which I'm definitely gonna do here as soon as we can, because I want to get this thing fixed. Well, I'll try grinding on it again and see where I get. You guys are probably already sleeping. I'm getting there. Now I'll try that real quick. See where that got us. Getting closer. taking shape. Just barely won't fit, but almost there. I apologize for this, but once I get this bolt fixed, we'll be back. Back over there we go. Wow. There we go. Oh, finally. I did not want to have to put a new bolt in this, but thankfully we don't have to. Get that snugged down. That's tight enough. Next thing I don't want to do is shoot that off. I have a feeling that definitely would happen to me. Don't ask me how I know. And it'll shear off. I set that on there. Snap that back on. One way or another. Did it go on like that? No. Oh, I was looking at the wrong tab things. Well, I don't know, that don't want to fit on there. Very good. For some reason. I think there we go. Just have to find the right spot. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I want to blow out down in those cooling fins a little bit. Try and get some of that dirt out of there. I'm not looking for perfection, but I'll put this over the carburetor so we don't get dirt in there. You don't really need anything getting in there. Thankfully, it's not too cold in the garage. I have the door open a little bit. I'm fairly warm. Of course, I got a ton of layers on. Okay. clean enough. Got a bunch of dirt on my tablet. Let me check the. Oh, something looked like something just jumped in here. Kind of a little critter. Oh, that clean enough. I ain't wasting all my day on cleaning that out. I ain't gonna worry about that snapped off bolt either. We're just gonna move on. And get that wiggled down. Get some of the bolts started. Grab I think the short one went by the dipstick tube, if I remember right. There's a couple different size 10 millimeter, a couple different lengths of the 10 mils. Get that dirt out of the carburetor. So we know that our timing should be good. I think the long one went by the dipstick. Yeah. And we got a slightly shorter one. And it goes right there. Maybe that doesn't go there. Take a longer one and see what we get. Something must not be lined up correctly there. No, it wasn't fully down. There it started. Okay, good. Could still be the spark plug is clean but bad. I'm going to throw in the known good plug. No, that one won't go in. I tell you, Kohler really knows how to annoy you. Get in there. Come on. Dumb thing. It's supposed to go in and out where you done came from. You're supposed to go where you came from. You came out of that hole. Then we might put that one in last. And if it don't go in, it ain't going in. I ain't wasting all my time on it. Probably just needs the rest of the cover to get bolted down in place. And then that one will get lined up. But I will fight with it off camera if it doesn't want to go in. Getting these other bolts in the back. There's that one, pretty much in. one other short one that goes over there. Now I'll try this 10 mil and see if it just needed rearranged. Well, maybe these are different bolts. Huh. No, that don't thread into that dipstick hole at all. Oh, the cover needs to go up a little bit, not down. Oh boy. Man, do I hate Kohlers. I don't even know how they're still in business. Maybe they improvised. Sure hope they did, because if anybody's out there working on these, well, I kind of feel sorry for you. I bet I need to loosen up a different bolt. Well, once I get this cover figured out, should be back trying to start it. I know this has been boring the past couple of minutes, but that's right when everything decides to do weird is when I do live. Maybe I just shouldn't do any more of them because they never work too good. I think that's going in. Come on. Get in there. Hold on, I gotta loosen everything up again. That one's loose. It's dumb. It's just dumb, that's what this is. Gotta make everything different sizes and metric and standard. And I think I'll be okay if I never work on another Kohler in my life. I don't really work on this one. Maybe I put the wrong bolt in that hole. Maybe that's...
Yeah.
I'm doing live. I think I put the wrong bolt in the wrong hole. That's where that one will go in. Yeah. Could have saved me 5 minutes of fighting if I put the right bolt in the right hole. I think I should make all these bolts the same. You know, can't make anything simple. Why would they? Hopefully you guys haven't left. If anybody's even bothering to watch. Yeah, well, I am too, but you know, Kohler is Kohler, and you have to fart around with everything before you can do anything. It takes you 10 minutes just to get one bolt in because everything's different. You know, if this is a Briggs, they have 4 bolts in their covers and you can tell where they go. Oh no, we gotta sit around and make everything different sizes, and one bolt standard, one's metric. Gotta make everything as hard as we can possibly make it. Well, all they want is for you to bring it into Kohler's place so that way they can do all the work, and then you have to pay them. That's all they want, just money. When in doubt, strip it out. And that's what I'm going to do. Okay, one last bolt, hopefully. Right there. And I hope that this is the very last color I ever have to work on, because, yeah. You guys seen what I just had to mess around with. There we go, that's tight enough. We ain't messing around with that no more. Gonna wipe off some of that junk that got knocked around. I'll blow that off with the air compressor. Well, I think I can try and start it up again. See what we get. Yeah. Could be just cold. Okay. Hook up the jumper. This battery ain't no good. And oh yeah, I gotta hook up the spark plug wire. I'll back you guys up so it don't explode on my camera. Maybe the valves are out of adjustment too, because that can cause an engine to backfire and do all sorts of weird things. The key switch froze up. I guess I can't really feel how cold it is because I got 3 pairs of pants and 2 heavy coats on, so I guess that's why everything is freezing up. Kinda gotta work the key switch back and forth. Till it wants to work. Well, might have to do it to the starter. That key switch is all froze up. Gonna have to jump it directly to the starter, which I usually see a little bit better for the weak battery system. And when you're going to do this, you don't want to touch the, you don't want to hook up your ground and then hit it on the starter post, because that'll that'll damage that post. I've done that before, so you want to hook up the positive and then tap the negative on something, which I'll do on this hood bracket. You need to make sure you put it on there, otherwise it'll jump off like that. Well, jumper's dead, so I'll use the other one. And of course, always something with these jumpers. Hopefully this one will do something. Maybe that carburetor is no good or something, I don't know. These things, I don't know. They just always go dead. That's kind of why I don't like them. And the key switch won't move, which there we go. Key switch freed up. I'll try to hook this jumper up to the battery and see if that does anything differently, even though it wouldn't work on the starter. It could have just been back ground or something. I don't know, it's acting like a fuel problem. Yeah, well, I'm going to make this one work even though I don't want to. We'll give it some of that. I'll take this gas cap off because I think we got a vent issue going on. Well, none of the jumpers want to work. Obviously, won't start without the starter working. So we might have to wait until we can get a good battery. I have one charging that I think it might work, but it's not even halfway charged, so I doubt we'll get anything good out of that. All these jumpers are kind of junky around here. I should make batteries work differently, even in the cold, because so what I'm going to do real quick is connect the charger for a couple minutes, because this thing charges batteries extremely fast when they're not in real bad shape. So in 5 minutes I'll probably be in the green. Standard 12 volt. Maybe that fuel line is not right. You can't get fuel. Fuel filter's got fuel in it. Yeah, the battery is already half charged, so it shouldn't take it long to get it up. I'm gonna kind of move the seat so I can get to the throttle. There's nothing wrong with this battery, for sure. So I am gonna keep charging it because it ain't no good. Let's keep this other battery plugged in. Well, I know what I can do. I can plug in this yellow jumper while it is cranking over, so that way it's getting power from the wall or the outlet to the jumper. And if that don't work, then we're going to have to wait until we get a good battery figured out to start it up. Batteries can be a bit of a pain sometimes, and that's why I like to have good batteries and everything around here, and we don't. Pick that up to the jumper. It plugs in right there. Oh, guess that's not doing much. At least I thought it worked while it was plugged in. Oh, maybe that's not. Let's burn up the starter doing that. Well, I guess that's going to be all for today. Because this thing does not want to crank over. And I'm done playing around with it. So I'll probably just clean up and go in. Because I'm done playing around with this thing. Just to get no results. I don't know if that other battery would work or not, but I don't really want to mess around with it. So I'm just gonna get off of here and clean up, and that'll probably be it. I will do a short on this when I get it started, but I won't do that until I know it'll run and have a good battery. So I'll get that done, and that should be it. So thank you all for watching. I've been on over an hour and a half and just wasted a bunch of time doing that cover that didn't need to be done. But hey, at least we figured out the key is okay. And that's it for today. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye.